Alright, I just went on a really long walk, so I'm looking a little wild right now, but I'm sitting in the Target parking lot because today I want to do a video where I try and find some hidden Target makeup gems. I did a video a couple years ago now called Drugstore Hidden Gems, where I just went through and tried to find things like on the bottom shelves or just things I had never seen or heard of before, products, and try them out. So that's what we're gonna do in this video, but with Target. So if you're excited for this video and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm gonna try and only get makeup in Target today, like only things for this video. We'll see how it goes. It's the Target curse. As soon as you walk through those doors, something happens to your brain and you just feel like you need everything, you know? So we're gonna try and not have that happen today. Wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, we are back from the Holy Land. I have my bag of Target makeup here. So I would say a lot of the stuff that I found was newer makeup, like new displays or things that I just haven't seen, or some of it was older that I know I've like seen before, but I've just never tried. First off, we have this Wet n Wild makeup sponge. I have already dampened it and it feels very nice and squishy. I'm usually a fan of the sponges that have one flat side here because I find that that applies foundation better than round sponges for some reason. I'm guessing this is not new because it says this Holy Grail blending sponge on the back. And then I also got a brush from Sonia Kashuk. So I actually don't think I've ever tried a Sonia Kashuk brush. Maybe like one, but I just never really shop for makeup in store Target because I usually just order things online like Ulta or something. But I got the flat top foundation brush. I really like that Target has the testers out for Sonia Kashuk stuff. So I was able to feel this one and it feels so soft, but it has a nice weight to it. It feels very soft. So I'm gonna do half face with both of these, but first let's do primer. So I found the Revlon Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Primer. It says it has hyaluronic acid and vitamin B. One of my holy grail primers is the Revlon Pore Reducing Primer, but I wanted to try out another Revlon primer since I do really like their other ones. Never seen this before. It seems like it might be new just because of the packaging. It says Perfecting and Smoothing Multi-Benefit Primer. Kind of thick gel. Smells very fragranced. Does it smell like cucumber maybe? Has a nice feel to it. It's pretty thick actually. And it dries down pretty quickly. It's weird. It's kind of dying down now though, the scent, but when I first put it on, definitely smelled very fragrant. It does have a tacky feel to it so far. Maybe it'll dry down like soft, but it does have a stick to it. So the foundation I picked up is one from Almay because I just haven't tried a whole lot from Almay. I feel like they're kind of like one of those brands that just flies under the radar a little bit. I actually think in my last hidden drugstore video, I also tested something from Almay and I think I really liked that foundation actually now that I think about it. This is supposed to be shade matching, so I thought that would be cool to try. It's in the shade 100 Pale. I was debating between this and a Neutrogena one, but that one seemed like more of a tinted moisturizer kind of product. So I have tried a shade matching foundation product before. I think it was from the Wish app or eBay or something. I'll link that video in the eye down below. I'm first going to try it with a brush, the Sonia Kashuk brush. So let's go in on this side. Oh my god, this is crazy. This one is like pure white, so I'm curious how this is going to match. One of the weird things with shade matching products is that because it matches like your face, obviously, a lot of people don't have the same color face as they do neck. Like me personally, my face is a bit darker and more red, obviously, than my neck, which you can't even tell because I'm wearing like a turtleneck right now. So far, it's still looking pretty white. Hopefully this is just a slow matching one. It's gonna match eventually because right now I'm looking like I have a major SPF on that I didn't blend out. The consistency feels thin, but is very matte. It actually looks quite skin-like. It's just super matte, and it definitely feels a bit dry on my skin. The foundation brush felt nice. It is a bit more stiff than my Sigma F80 that I normally use, but it felt nice. I'm going to have to try that one some more. So far, so good. It's very soft on the face. So let's try the Wet n Wild sponge on the other side. I have good feelings about the sponge. Sponge feels nice and soft. I like the size. I like that it has a flat edge. Okay, it's looking very patchy on this side. It looks like it's darkening in certain areas, like around my nose and on my nose, but then over here it's still white, so hopefully that'll all even out soon, but I'm looking a little crazy right now. I'm getting lighter coverage on the sponge side, which is pretty typical for me with damp sponges. Guys, this could be a little disastrous. Wow, that's looking so awful. Holy shit. Okay, so it's like very patchy on my forehead. You can see a dark spot right there, and then it's super dry looking and like clingy on my hairline. And it feels super drying, like it almost feels like a powder kind of primer, like oil absorbing primer. As a foundation, I mean, so far it's a hard pass. Okay guys, I left it on for a few more minutes. It's probably been on for about 8 to 10 minutes so far total. Hello, Casper. So instead I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydro Rescue. I'm still testing this for Foundation Friday update videos where I go through a bunch of foundations and what I think of them. So I'm just going to apply this one over top. Oh, I'm liking this sponge. Feels very nice on the face. Now I'm calling it a primer. That Almay thing definitely mattifies though, because this product is very glowy, and on top of that primer is almost just looking like barely a satin finish. It's still looking pretty matte. I can see where the Almay thing is coming through right here, and it looks a bit dry. Considering the situation I started with, final base right now is actually very smooth and everything's like sitting really nice on my skin right now. That was a miraculous turn of events. So a concealer that I've never heard of before, never seen, is the Pixi Pat Away Concealing Base. This is in the lightest shade number 1 cream. I didn't even know Pixi made a concealer. The shade looks like it's gonna be nice. Oh wow, it's like getting stuck in the top. There we go. Oh, this is like a, what was that? Which one did I recently try that had this exact paddle? It's like very odd shaped. It's super big. So let's try that underneath the eyes. Off the bat, I can tell the shade is pretty yellow. Very yellow, actually. And it feels pretty thick. I'm going to just try that one side first and blend it out because it feels like it's going to dry down really quickly. It feels quite matte and kind of thick. It's not really covering a lot in here. I can still see a lot of darkness coming through, and it's looking very, very dry. Let me try to let this sit on for like 30 seconds on this side to see if I get better coverage. Sometimes that helps with me. And then I'm actually just gonna try blending it out with the sponge. Maybe just need some like added moisture into there. I do feel like I got better coverage that way, but I typically for some reason get better coverage on this eye. I don't know why that happens. I'm pretty sure that concealer was like 17 or 19 bucks. So for that price, I just definitely don't think this one is worth it. I have way better drugstore concealers. I actually recently did a whole favorite concealers video, so that one's a hard pass for me. So in another video, I tried the L'Oreal Infallible Loose Setting Powder in 612. I wanted to keep testing this one, so this was just a random one. I didn't just find this at Target. I just wanted to test this one again, and I didn't find a powder at Target that I haven't tried. So I just applied this with a sponge to my under eyes just to see if I can kind of like smooth everything out and get a little bit more coverage. And then my face was looking a little funky because my under eyes were darker than the rest of my face, so then I decided to use this powder all over because I needed to even out the tone. So that's where we're at right now. Next up, I'm going to try an eyebrow product from Target. So this is the Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil from Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade Deep Brown. I've never tried this one. I'm excited. I have a lot of drugstore brow pencils lately that I love. So this one has quite a bit of slip to it. I kind of like a more stiff brow pencil. I feel like it's easier for me to control, but I do like the shade of that one. I'm not in love with the formula as much as I am some other brow pencils, but it's not bad at all. Couldn't find a blush or bronzer that I haven't tried at Target, so I just went in with my Makeup Revolution Sculpt and Glow and then ColourPop Frisky Business for blush. I do have a highlight to try here. So this is the Hello Halo, it says Blush Lighter from Wet n Wild in the shade Highlight Bling. So I'm assuming this is kind of like a blush topper, and then this is like a pure highlight. So I'm excited since I do have a very matte face. I do want to try the blush topper. So I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. This is great for when you just want like a wash of color. I think this is newer from Wet n Wild, like not super new, but maybe within the last few months. Do I see a glow? I can't tell. I don't see like a huge glow. Here's the highlight shade. Going in with this one. So that shade is pretty icy. It has like a little bit of a purple blue color to it. I'm not loving it. Like I just don't like the way that it's sitting on my skin and also the color. The texture reminds me of the Anastasia highlights. It is a bit glittery. You can like see it on my skin for sure. Actually, I'm going to go in with the blush shade for my nose and just add that like warmth kind of highlight like out in the sun. I actually might just use that pink one and kind of go over the other shade just to blend it in a bit more to the blush and also just tone it down a bit. Is that doing anything? I feel like that pink shade doesn't do a whole lot. Okay, don't think I would use that Wet n Wild one again, just for the shades that I like, but I'm gonna go back over with the blush and just kind of blend. Setting spray, I'm gonna use Milani Make It Dewy. I don't know if this Target video will be up first or another first impressions video I did, but I tried it in that video. I'm looking very matte on my forehead right now and down here besides the highlight, so we'll see how dewy I get. Okay, just applied an eyeshadow base, and now I'm going to go in with this number 7 Stay Perfect Eyeshadow Palette Nude. So I've never heard of this. It looks like a nice neutral palette. I'm hoping there's not too many metallics. I couldn't really tell from the outside packaging. I'm hoping they're not all metallic. It might be all metallic. You get one matte shade, that light one that looks like almost a yellow. Ooh, that shade? Hell yeah. So I do feel like for shimmers, those are going to be pretty. I don't think this would be like a complete eye kind of palette because you don't have a whole lot of matte shades to work with here. Like you only have one, but that's fine. We can work with that. I'm just going to take my bronzer shade I used and put that into the crease. Ooh, the bridge of my nose is looking so scaly and dry. Because this shade looked friggin' beautiful, I feel like I need to take the lightest shimmery shade. I'm going to use my finger and press that onto the lid. It's very soft, and that's a nice, pretty champagne shade. Has a little bit of a yellow tint to it, which I feel like is working well with this shirt. I'm going to take a brush and use that same shade and just bring it a little bit more in on my inner corner and then like up, just to kind of create the illusion of having bigger eye right there. I might take a little bit of this bronzy shade just to try out more of these from this palette, just to warm it up a little bit. Okay, never mind. My skin tone, I don't love that. I feel like it just looks kind of too orange with that like cool tone shade. So never mind, scratch that. I'm gonna go back over with that lightest shade and hope I can kind of cancel it out. Even though these are shimmery, I feel like I need to test more from this palette. So I'm just gonna take this shade and bring it down to my lower lash line, maybe even a bit of the darkest one. We'll see how it looks. Usually I would apply a matte here, but... Okay, so the shades themselves, like the ones I tried, are nice. I just don't see how this would be a very useful palette unless you're really solely looking for shades like this that are metallic. Like maybe you have a couple staple matte shades and you only want shimmers. Okay, I'm gonna pop some brown eyeliner onto my waterline. This one's just by Revlon. Okay, so the category I found the most products in that I have never tried or seen or heard of is definitely liquid liner. I don't really know what I was thinking, but I got 4 different liquid liners here. I don't have 4 eyeballs, so not sure how we're going to test all these. But the first one is the Breakup Proof Liner from Wet n Wild. I do like the Wet n Wild. I feel like it's called Pro Line Eyeliner. It's an old one, so I'm curious to try this one. I've never seen this, and this looks like one of those products that is older, I'm pretty sure. But this is the L'Oreal Matte Signature in the shade Black. The packaging on here is friggin' beautiful. Almost looks like a nail polish bottle. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. This is a pencil. Okay, I'm going to put that on my waterline. Here's the liquid liner version of the Breakup Proof liquid liner. So I'm just going to layer this over that brown. Whoops. Or maybe I'll smudge this first on the top. And then this one's actually a rose gold. This is the Voluminous Lash Paradise. It is a felt tip liner, but it's like a rose gold shade with the lip color I got. Don't know if rose gold is quite going to go with this look and this shirt, but I will try this in another video, so I'm going to put that one aside. So let's go in first with the pencil liner from Wet n Wild. I like that it's retractable, you can just wind it up. Ooh, it is so creamy and so black. Ooh, okay, I have a feeling this is going to be a winner. So I'm going to smudge this on the top. First, I'm just going to go really close to my lashes and then use a brush to blend that out. That is so black. Just so I can test this liner as much as possible, I'm doing this, but then I am going to go in with a liquid liner over top too. It gives like more of a kind of sultry look since it is just smudged. So far, this eyeliner is the standout product for sure. So it's between these two. I'm just going to do one on one eye and one on the other. So here's the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof. Looks like a nice fine point. It's gliding on really nice. Doesn't feel scratchy. Very black. Ooh, okay. Loving that. It looks very black, but also very matte. Let's try the Matte Signature by L'Oreal on the other side. Packaging of this looks so like elegant. Yeah, let's go in. These make me nervous. I'm definitely more of like a pen kind of gal with liquid liner. Oh. Don't do this to me. This one definitely takes a minute to dry down. I can tell if I looked up right now, it would transfer up to the top because it's still very wet feeling, which can be a downside if you're trying to do a wing, because hopefully it won't smudge up. So a downside to this is that the way that it dips in here, for some reason, you get barely any product on the side of here. So I'm someone who definitely uses the side when I go to create a wing because I kind of drag it sideways across. I just feel like I don't have as much control with this kind, and I don't like that you don't get any product on the side, so I'd probably pass on that one. I'm stoked on this Wet n Wild one though, so I'm going to go in and kind of clean it up. I feel like I need to clean up a little bit on the inner part of my eye, and then also just a little bit right there. Liner is definitely pretty thick today, but that's okay because I have some dramatic lashes to go in with, but I'm in love with this thing so far. I've never heard of this. It's the Bambi Eye Mascara from L'Oreal. Just have never heard of this, but I'm curious. And I like the font right there. So I'm going to apply mascara like I normally would to test out this mascara, but then I'm also going to go in with false lashes. Okay, it feels very dry and I'm getting really natural lashes, like barely coating my lashes. It's always hard to tell when you have like a thick liner on, but I mean, it's giving me like zero volume. Yeah, that one's not for me. It's very dry feeling and just gives like zero volume. So I was excited to see these because I've never seen the Luxe Cashmere line. I almost always buy my Eyelure lashes on Ulta. They're one of my favorite lash brands. I just feel like the styles are the most flattering on my eye shape. I never heard of the Luxe Cashmere line, and this one looked right up my alley. I think these were like the pricier ones. They had the security tag on them, but it says you get 15 wears out of them. I'm gonna be feeling these, I can tell. So I'm gonna put these lashes on and I'll be right back. Okay, so lashes are on and I just put some Lower Lash Mascara on. I really like these lashes, and I feel like when I don't have as thick of a wing happening, because I rarely do like this kind of wing liner, just kind of happened. But if I had a thinner line, I think they would be really flattering because they look kind of like wispy and more natural up to the front, but then they have that like cat eye look. So I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of those ones. So then for lips, I picked up two products. I have heard of these. They used to have the matte ink crayons like a long time ago. So I think they kind of just like rebranded it, or now it's part of the Superstay line. Not really sure, but this is in the shade 40 Laugh Louder. Looks like it's gonna be really pretty like orangey color. And then also the NYX Lingerie Push Up. So this is part of their lingerie line. I don't like their lingerie liquid lipsticks. I find them to be just like very slidey and too moussey for my taste, but I've never seen the Push Up lipstick version, and this looked like a nice nude shade. So I think because of the rest of my makeup, I'm gonna go with the red just for like the pop. Oh yeah. Okay, I think some people will think this smells like Play-Doh. First it smells like cake batter, and now it just kind of smells like Play-Doh. Oh man. I love this shade. All right, so now that all of the makeup's on my face, let's go through the hits and the misses real quick. Least favorite product I tried is definitely the Almay. I don't know what is happening with this. Also, there is something in this that soaks up every ounce of moisture on your face. I've tried this one probably 5 times so far, and I've never had this happen, but as I was putting on my lashes, I actually sprayed my entire face again because I was looking at my skin and I was like, it looks completely matte again. So I sprayed it again, and now it looks completely matte again. So this has never happened with this. This is normally really dewy, so I'm pretty sure it's all due to this product because it's just super drying and almost like moisture oil controlling. So again, if you have oily skin, maybe this would work amazing as a primer on your skin, but if you have dry skin, stay far away from this. Also, the color changing thing just obviously didn't work at all. I am really curious to try out this again because even though in certain parts of my face it looks really dry, in other parts my face looks really smooth right now. So I'm a little confused what's happening with the base, but I definitely don't think this concealer is worth it. And then, you know, my thoughts on this one, I just don't think it's super useful. Okay, let's talk about some of the good things that I do think are worth it. The Wet n Wild sponge. Love this. I'm going to keep trying this one. And then both of the new Wet n Wild Breakup line, what's it called? Breakup Proof line, and the lashes. I think those were all of the things that I really enjoyed from today's video, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did and found it helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you try out any of these things down below. It's always fun just like digging around at different stores, seeing what you can find, and finding things I've never seen or heard about before. So all the products I used on my face today will be listed down below in the description box, like always. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.